Video topic: 1 year semen retention. My experience. I've been doing a lot of thinking in the past month or so. I'm starting this YouTube thing again. You guys can find my old videos on my Rumble. Link in description in case anyone's interested. But apparently the things I were talking about were obvious stuff that everyone already knows, and if I'm being honest, I just copy pasted my scripts from other videos. So I just kind of wanted to get a fresh start, if that makes sense. Going forward with my life, the things I want to accomplish, the person I wish to become, I want to be completely transparent about my past, just so things don't come back to haunt me. I'm sure they will, because in this world we live in, people expected a child or teenager to be perfect for whatever reason. I'm the furthest thing from perfect. If anyone told you differently, then they lied. I'm striving to be better every day, but the person I wish to become, the things I want to accomplish, I want to be someone who can be considered a leader figure, someone who can be considered honorable. Apparently I'm a liar, so I'm just gonna be as straightforward about my wrongdoings and everything I've been through so that critique can be thrown out the window. And the only way I can do that is by lifting the heavy weight off my shoulders, which is by making this video. I want to talk about my past so I can get over it, move on from it, and stop living in it. I mean, I was losing my mind these past few months, bro. Like, you can just go check my Twitter. I was heated, going full Kanye mode, just calling shit out and being very upset with our species as a whole. I said a lot of shit that was out of pocket just because I was extremely frustrated. So I just want to apologize for that. But what I want you guys to understand is I was a broken human being. My father has been abusing me for years, and I finally snapped and hit him back. And he called the cops, but luckily I'm an intelligent young man, so I was able to efficiently diffuse the situation. And I don't want anyone to judge me for things I've said or done in the past because I was an angry kid. And I may be pointing out the obvious, but when we're angry as children and teenagers, we say things we don't mean, and we do things to hurt others. So this video is an apology to those I've hurt. Life is so beautiful, and I'm slowly starting to actualize the potential of what I would like to accomplish. If anyone who I've hurt has come into contact with this video, then I would urge you to reach out, because I do truly want to apologize for being a bully. I was a disgusting human being in my past because of the influences that surrounded me, and I am deeply regretful of that. And I'm not trying to throw myself a pity party or make anyone feel bad for me. That's the last thing I want, but I want to expose and confess my demons to the world, so people understand why I didn't take life seriously in my teenage years. I genuinely just don't like who I used to be, and I'm deeply sorrowful about that, which is why I feel as though this video needs to be made. I was pretty scientifically minded, so I think that had something to do with it. Now that I'm fully spiritual with God, I think my mind is in a much better place. I grew up in a household that was pretty traumatic. I know age 0 to 12 doesn't really count, but those are formative years, and I was essentially tortured by my family. Not tortured in the sense of physically, I mean, there were certainly moments of physical torture that I went through, but tortured in the sense of lacking an emotional connection and having love in my life. Whatever a child sees in his youth is what he will grow up to become and project onto others. Immigrant life is a very tough life, and anyone who grew up in Surrey would tell you that our parents busted their asses to give us a solid future, which is something I will be eternally grateful for. My mother is an angel, and I would do anything to make her happy and proud. I'm currently working very hard to accomplish that mission. I would like to come out and publicly apologize to my mom because I have sworn at her indirectly and made her suffer before. But all of us Gen Z kids with immigrant parents know that our folks are very much emotionally unavailable. In Surrey, there is this infamous group of individuals known as Surrey Jacks. I knew from conception that I did not want to be one of these people. And that's not because I'm a coward or pussy, which is what everyone likes to think for some reason. I know no one's gonna believe me, but I know the real ones will, so that's all that matters. I genuinely don't fear judgment or care what others think of me. And in hindsight, I do think that is what has caused a lot of problems in my life, because love and connection are things that are foundational to our mental health. But yeah, I knew we grew up in the suburbs, and after what our parents went through to provide for us, it just felt like we were spitting in their faces by wanting to be gangsters for no reason. So yeah, growing up in my Surrey home, I went through a lot of shit with my sisters, and I don't want to project blame or make people mad at them because, again, we were only children, but there was some sexual abuse that was going on. And I know no one's gonna care, like, boo-hoo, get over it, but incest is fucking disgusting, bro. Because of this abuse, I developed a pornography addiction at a young age. I was a disgusting human being, man. Like, I jerked off to hentai, golden showers, even video games, just because I thought it was funny. I wasn't even, like, I was barely turned on, but, like, I was just a weird and corrupted kid, man. I went on a lot of dating apps when I was horny and looking for connections, so that's probably gonna come back to haunt me as well. That's just what porn does to your brain. I wanna tell you this, if you're a guy, I don't feel sorry. Listen, if you're a guy who masturbates to porn every single day of your life, your mom should have swallowed you. You don't belong on this planet. This world would be a better place if you all died tomorrow. I don't feel the least bit sorry for all you dudes completely messing up the way this world is supposed to work. So yeah, I haven't touched my wiener in almost a year now. The only scientific studies we have backing any benefits of male celibacy is an increase in testosterone by 145% after a week. And of course, an increase in testosterone is very beneficial for males as it raises your libido, strengthens bone density, increases muscle mass, and even helps clear brain fog, helping you feel just less depressed in general. Speaking of neurological effects, porn addiction is inherently a very real thing. And there have been studies that show that your brain chemistry during masturbation becomes neurologically akin to a user of heroin or cocaine due to the sheer amount of dopamine that is released. Masturbating to porn actually decreases the gray matter in your brain, which in turn completely destroys your reward system. And like any addiction, the more you masturbate, the more desensitized you become to the material, which in turn leads to you having weird fetishes and losing the desire to have sex with a real human female. As you're constantly looking for the next fix, which is no longer sex, but the next meat beating session. The reason it's so problematic is because it's pretty much the easiest drug you'll ever have access to. It's essentially free and it takes no time to acquire. All you really need is an internet connection. On top of that, if you search up on Google, is masturbation healthy? The main thing that everyone has seen is it's pretty much the safest sex out there. There's no risk of pregnancy or STDs. Understand that porn is a multi-billion-dollar company, and these search results are 1,000,000% paid for by companies that do not care about you. In extreme cases, this addiction causes erectile dysfunction, and anecdotally, even as a dude who's never really had anxiety, I can attest that your confidence skyrockets once you get over this addiction. I guess why I'm so passionate about this subject is because I started when I was only 12, and it essentially destroyed my teenage years. Not that I never had fun or went through anything I wasn't supposed to go through. Actually, looking back on and reflecting on it, it was actually better for me to be addicted in hindsight, for reasons that I can't really explain because it won't make sense. But I just know I had more potential that I'm now slowly starting to actualize into my life. There are a few studies that have come out that claim masturbation actually reduces your risk of prostate cancer, but when you delve deeper into these findings, there are so many variables and contingencies that it's hard to even take seriously. Even if you don't believe the physical benefits, you save yourself time by quitting this addiction, because a masturbation session can last anywhere from 45 to 30 minutes if you're really taking your time and searching for the right video. At this point, I feel it's pretty much common knowledge, and the people who dissuade you from abstinence don't really have your best interests at heart. These people compromise their morals and integrity for money. You're gonna be pulling these chicks like you never have in your life, but you're not doing this for them, you're doing this so you can feel happy, like a kid again. What I would recommend is downloading a parental blocker on your main browser and unfollowing any models who post scantily clad photos on your social media. I want to point out that when you start this journey, relapses are inevitable. It took me a year of relapses to get to the current streak that I'm on, which is just about a year. So don't feel bad if you can't go more than a few months on the first year you try and quit. Keep in mind that sex is the #1 human desire, right on par with food. So it's going to be the hardest thing you ever do, but also the best thing you ever do for yourself. There is a popular unspoken belief amongst fighters that they do not have sex before a fight, and that is because ejaculation really does drain your energy and make you feel fatigued. And no homo, dog, but you're gonna see some length and girth down there. It's gonna be harder and thicker. Bro, I'm not even exaggerating when I say it boosts your intuition. You'll find ways to do things in the way that you want to and become more creative. Physically, in terms of your appearance, your hair will be shiny, your eyes will sparkle, your skin will glow. It's very surreal. You're training your brain to want to be a cuck and enjoy watching other people have sex instead of enjoying sex yourself. There's something deeply wrong with that. You're weird, buddy. I'm at a very strange point in my life right now, and I'm not gonna elaborate on it too much, but with the recent revelations I've been having, I won't watch porn or masturbate ever again in my life, bro. Like, either I find my twin flame, or she smartens up and finds me, or I'm just gonna remain celibate for like a decade. Now, I wanna tell you guys this. You see a guy who looks like me. I'm 6'2", I'm well-spoken, I'm Drake's son. But even with all that going for me, I would find it difficult to talk to females if I masturbated every day. I would be nervous and anxious. If you stop jerking off, you wouldn't be afraid to pull any chick, even knowing you have nothing to offer them. You will be reprogrammed to your natural alpha state. Porn messes you up so bad, you'll catch yourself masturbating to some shit you would never do to a girl in your life. It's a fantasy. It takes you away from real life women. When you're ejaculating all the time, you are letting out everything. And I get it, it's a stress reliever, but when you try and talk to a girl, you have not 2 words to say to her, and the only thing on your mind is sex. A truly stupendous amount of male thinking goes into sex without procreation. So you're doing it for pleasure, not for the purpose it was meant for. Put that sexual energy into improving your life. Trust me, you'll thank yourself for it later. End the enslavement to your lustful thoughts and develop self-control. I honestly think this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I still remember the very first time I masturbated back when I was 12. A naked woman was literally on my computer screen teaching me how to masturbate. That experience is a huge reason why I'm so spiritual now and I believe in demonic entities. I truly believe that the devil somehow put me in that scenario to develop my addiction at an early age. It makes me shudder just thinking how a young boy could have been put in that scenario. Porn makes you a simp. I don't even recognize who I was a few years ago. You get an instant fix, which should be a long grind chasing a woman that you care about. A woman who makes you feel like the moon is something that she created for you. Not just pixels on a screen. You just got the wrong mindset, bro. It's all good though, like I've been there before too. Your entire interactions with women will change. If it's a woman you're not attracted to, she'll give you sister energy and vibes. If it's a woman you are attracted to, she'll have a level of respect for you even though you guys don't know anything about each other. God will see you putting in work if you go celibate. They'll start sending you your blessings. A lot of women know about the power of semen, bro. They're demonic, corrupted souls. Bro, you have to understand that there's quality women out there. Don't look for them in bars and clubs because those type of chicks will destroy your life. You're fucking yourself. Your hand is your wife. Women are so beautiful, bro. Not just the way they look, but the way they move and speak and what they do for society. The pure soul ones. You just got the wrong mindset, bro. It's all good though, like I've been there before too. I'm so glad I'm a virgin because my younger porn addicted self had not just a wrong view of women, but a wrong view of the entire world, bro. I might stay a virgin my whole life unless a woman with the same soul finds me somehow. I just pray that I'll meet my twin flame soon. Women attraction has very little to do with looks. It's all about your energy. If you're someone who never had wet dreams, you're gonna start having them on a long streak. And don't worry, it's not a relapse, it's just your body getting rid of what it doesn't need. Another benefit of semen retention is it raises your standards for women. So you're no longer attracted to women who don't take care of themselves and you become super attractive to the women that you are compatible with. There's no spiritual practice, fasting, meditation, nothing compares to the energy that celibacy gives you. If you're a dude who spends money on porn or OnlyFans, you're a lost soul. Nothing's ever gonna save you. These chicks, bro, the respect they have for me on a spiritual level. I'm like a grandfather. Attention is like a drug to females. If you stop giving it to them, they'll crave it and submit to you. Sex is meant to be sacred unification, not instant pleasure. You'll be more motivated. Emotionally, things won't bother you as much. You'll make eye contact with people. Every man releases, so if you start this practice, you'll be ahead of 99% of others. For some reason, celibacy seems to magnetize your blessings into your life. Within a man, his procreative essence serves as the wellspring of his masculine virtue, which in turn, if frequently depleted, his essence and reservoir of male vitality will dwindle, bestowing upon him a feminine demeanor. Another thing is, it's easy to tell someone to stop smoking, for instance, because it's bad for your lungs. But try and tell someone to stop watching porn and it'll be the most awkward conversation you ever have. Doing the little things in life become immensely more enjoyable because your brain is no longer destroyed from all the cheap dopamine you've been pumping into it. Why don't girls look at me when I leave my house? because you're jerking off, busting gallons of nuts all over yourself. So the glow is not there. It gives you an aura that everyone around you can see. It rewires your brain and everyone around you notices. I personally believe porn is a genuine hindrance and detriment to the developing brain. I think the reason that this addiction is typically defaulted to is because it gives a social replacement. And a pornography addiction is a great way to forget about the lack of connection in your life. Since 25% of millennials have admitted, keyword admitted, to having zero close friends. Use the energy this practice gives you to make some friends and get a girl. Celibacy is a foundational habit linked to your drive and motivation. It's no wonder they want men to be thoughts. Why wouldn't the entire world work a 9 to 5 when they can settle for masturbation and casual meaningless sex? I hope I've been able to convince you why any human having access to repeated dopamine surges equivalent to hard drugs is an undoubtedly pernicious scenario. Aren't you tired of having constant brain fog and not having the answers to anyone's questions? Don't you want to be in the present moment and have a charming response to anything anyone says to you? Maybe it's a placebo, but I've noticed I am so much more charismatic in the way I deal with people. Don't even do it for yourself, do it for your future partner. Because you'll notice that when you experience real love as a porn addict, your brain is conditioned to run away from intimacy. The world is yours when you're celibate. It just feels like everything has to go your way. Also, due to the rise in testosterone, semen retention boosts your confidence and just helps you be not as much of a bitch. Which is a pretty crucial skill in this world of winner takes all. Be alive again, bro. Marriage rates are declining. Divorce is increasing. Do you guys not see the correlation? Learn to utilize sexual transmutation. Your workouts will be better. Your meditations will be deeper. Now let's talk spiritual. The root chakra is the base of your 7 chakras. The chakra, scientifically speaking, being the endocrine system. 7 organs that control hormones throughout your body. The root chakra is therefore the testicles in men and ovaries in women. The testicles in men responsible for the constant creation of sperm, ensuring the continuation of our species. Ironically, semen at its core contains feminine energy. This energy is known as Kundalini, the divine life force that flows throughout all living things. When you decide to retain, this energy, instead of being drained, is stored, and it rises up the spine with the help of the other 6 chakras. The other 6 chakras cannot have blockages or they will stop the energy from rising. Don't worry, I'll soon make a video on how to unblock the 6 chakras. Once the 7th crown chakra is activated, the energy spits out into the universe, helping us feel the ultimate gift from God. Nirvana, or enlightenment. Now with my entire past being exposed to the world, and that tremendous weight being lifted off my shoulders, I can move forward with my life and pursue my YouTube and music careers. My novels will be published sometime in the very distant future because they are my magnum opuses, and I do truly feel as though it's going to take at least a decade for them to come to fruition. Life is the most beautiful thing, and I no longer care for material possessions. My purpose, passion, and art are the only things that matter to me from this day forward. I think I'm finally at a point in my life where my parents are accepting of me being an artist rather than a wage slave. We can stress forever about the past, but ultimately, everything is already in the books. And it may sound cliche, but what the fuck would life be without regrets? You have to make mistakes in order to learn from them. Failure is what stems growth. The last thing I would like to say is thank you to every human being on this earth for putting up with who I once was. Now that I have said my past to the world, I am at peace with what the future holds for me. Thank you for believing in me, and above everything else, thank you for accepting me. I love all life forms on this planet. I wish success and happiness on everyone. I do hope I have undying support and allegiance from the world from this day forth. I think we are a brilliant species and that we need to do better as a collective. We can and will do better. The devil will be defeated. Like and subscribe.